What's up, everybody? Shawn.asf, and I am working on a new body. Cutting it out right now, and it is a thicker polycarbonate than I'm used to. This is actually a brand I've never heard of before, but the bodies were pretty cheap, and I had a random paint idea that I wanted to try, actually a couple of them, so I went ahead and picked it up and just to kind of try it out on. But it's made by Santaizi, it's Santaizi, and it came with light buckets and the window masks and the flat black window surrounds and everything. So the light buckets are Lexan. They're not like the nice metal, or plastic, chrome plated ones. So I might still get some of those, but it's just the basic street body. It doesn't have anything fancy on it. It's just got the basic shape of the 350Z. There's no hood vents, no wide body, no, nothing real fancy. It does have the molded, door handles and the rear turn signals down in the bumper with light buckets for those too. So anyway. So I am back here right now doing some testing. I just went ahead and tried with these three colors here. This is obviously not paint that's meant for polycarbonate bodies. This is paint that I use for other stuff like these artworks and whatnot. So again, there's the colors on there. You can see a little bit closer. I've got it held up there with some tape. So I'm going to let that dry and I will report back. What's up? So I am back with my, I guess you can call it a swatch, my test samples. So basically where I went ahead and sprayed down or splattered some paint across it, just to kind of see what it would do and how bright the colors would be. It turned out really cool, actually. This is, of course, in the light, and you can kind of see there how the green changes from green to orange, and the yellow there has got the reflective gold kind of color to it. The pink changes to like a gold as well. So it's definitely got some iridescent stuff going on, and that was just 3 colors tested. But, with the white backing, it's actually pretty strong. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with that. I flipped it over. It's dry. I kind of tried to peel at it, and I don't see any coming off or anything like that. So I think it'll probably be good, especially once I spray it on there and then go ahead and back it. All right, now that I have tested the paints on the polycarbonate, I've went back over and pressed down the window masks again real well, made sure that I got all the air bubbles and everything out, so that way they're nice and pressed down. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay down the strip across here, and then also the strip right across the back right here on the trunk. And then that way I can put that on there and then, tilt it a little bit and start to get that, that piece running. So I'm going to start with that and probably have to let that dry before I move on to any others, because it's going to be a multi-step with the different paints. I don't actually want the paints to run together. I want to put one on there and then let it dry and then basically do the other and let it dry, so that way they're separate bright colors that retain their individual bright finish and look. So I have got those 2 on there. I'm going to let those continue to drip and run a little bit. I've got it pressed in so that way it kind of slides down and back off the trunk as well instead of just building up. So hopefully it continues to slide. I've got multiple colors on here, and I'm thinking it looks really dope. There's some colors on here that I am super digging. Like this blue that changes to like a purpley pink in the light with the iridescent. But there are a lot of different colors going on right now, and this is definitely not complete. This is just at the stage where I'm letting some of the fresh colors I just splashed on dry and or run and drip a little bit. That way it kind of gives it more of that paint splashed kind of feel in some spots. Like you can see right here, I've got this big purple that's kind of, I let it run one way and then I turned it and now it's going to drip down the other way. and then that way I can kind of get some different directions and whatnot on there. But yeah, it's giving me some really cool effects. The colors that will go over top of the white, and really it's just a mix of all kinds of different colors, but the side that has white has the black splatter in it, and then the side that's going to be black actually has white splatter in it. So I did kind of do that to make sure that when I painted one side white, the black would stand out, and when I painted one side black, the white would stand out. So hopefully that will work out like I'm hoping it will. Oh, and when I finished using some of that paint, I didn't want any of it to go to waste, so I went ahead and did another painting. And so yeah, I just did this actually a little bit ago. So pretty cool. This is technically my inspiration to do that. Okay, so I took some of my low adhesive painter's tape and I went ahead and basically ripped it right down the center to create like a tear effect. And so I think I'm just going to go ahead and use these low adhesive strips on here to go ahead and of course wait till this paint's fully dry, but then just lay them on there gently, not really pressing them down hardcore, but just enough to create the separation where I can do spray the white down and get the white down on the side that I'd want, with the strips down there, and then that way it looks like it's a split, torn paint job. But I'll do, like I said, white on this side with the strips, and then once I lift that off, then I can just finish the whole thing off with black. Alright, so we are back here with the painted body, and I have now cut off the protective outside layer on the bottom here, for the door handle, for this trim piece, and then also for the trunk license plate section, the bottom trim around the back there, and then a piece around the front. So I'm going to go ahead and hit those with a satin black, and that way I can have them have a decent look from the outside and be satin. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, I am getting closer. I have unmasked and went ahead and sprayed the headlights. As you can see there, they're now hella yellow. And then I also went ahead and tinted out and sprayed the rear lights. So they are red, but they're also fairly dark. So they should be pretty dark once the body's on. But I got those done, and the yellow is still a little on the tacky side, but then I sprayed the pieces I wanted to be satin on the outside, so I got some of that and the trim, and should be getting ready to peel all the window masks off, and then hopefully the protective layer on the outside so I can see what the paint actually looks like. Okay, so I have went ahead and peeled off the mask, as you saw, and took off all the window masks, and in doing so, it did leave some spots where some paint had run, like up top, the green had bled under the mask and whatnot, so I just went ahead and cleaned that up real quick, and now basically she is ready for the next layer of details, which will be the flat black trim around all the windows. There isn't really any distinguishment between the body and then the trim and then the window. It's just body and window. So I would have just had to kind of mask it out on my own. And thankfully, this body actually came with a set of flat black window stickers to go around basically all of the windows. Okay, so I have outlined some of the body lines just lightly with a very faint black Sharpie, so that way I've kind of got some of the body lines in there. But again, I don't want them to be super thick or super dark, so I just kind of did them with a marker, one of my older markers that doesn't really put down a solid fucking black aggressive line. It's actually kind of, like I said, you know, it's faint, so you can technically see through it. It's opaque, but, you know, it gives that effect without being too harsh. Yeah, I've got that stuff kind of done, and now I'm about to go ahead and put the flat black stickers around the window, since this body has it that way instead of having it, you know, in the trim where I could cut it and spray it flat black or satin black with the handle and the other part that I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick those on, and so about to do some window trim. I went ahead and added the wing on there, and now what I'm doing is I'm actually drip painting the wing with a chopstick and my paint. So basically I'm going and you know, putting small sections of extra paint like that and just letting it naturally run down, and just kind of putting it on, you know, with a little bit of a pushing swipe motion off the chopstick, and you know, letting it run and drip, like I said. And then as it gets towards the back down there, if I need to, I'll go ahead and you know, tilt it forward or whatever, kind of help it kind of run and even out. But I'm doing drips on the front side and also the back side, because I do want there to be drips from underneath that you actually maybe see come out a little bit if you're behind me, or if I'm you know, recording and you see it go by and from a low angle, where sometimes I put the GoPro on the track. Hopefully then, you know, you'll kind of be able to see the swipes from underneath as well if I do it that way. So this is all just speculation, of course, because I don't really know. I've never done this before. I'm just trying something new, and this is how I'm doing it. So we shall see.